Hello traders and welcome to 5 Minute Alpha. I've talked about Lunar Crush before, but recently they have added new metrics that I've been waiting for a very long time, and I think it's going to give you, whether you're a trader or an investor, a pretty big edge. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a private clip of the Discord that I think is pretty cool. So we're going to get to that at the end. Okay, now let's go to the main tool on Lunar Crush. They added a new tool called Social Search. Why is this important to us? It was very hard for me to get any data from Twitter, meaning any data for how many searches on Twitter, stuff like that. But what I found is that this tool is actually very good at doing that all for me. I don't have to, use some other tool to try to get Twitter data. This gives me exactly what I need from Twitter, also known as X, as you can see right here. Okay, what are we looking at here? It's not surprising that most people who trade are going to lose money. So that being said, typically when a market begins to trend like crazy, and TRB definitely has trended insanely, up 200%, there's going to come a time where there's a market top and a shakeout of everyone. That's very normal, right? When do we know when that will occur? Well, any trader will tell you you never know exactly when a market top will form after a bull run. But what we can do is see when are the masses of people aware that a bull run has happened. And that's where you're going to use this tool. So if we look here, look at this crazy spike that happens at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. on September 7th this year. We go from just a few mentions, interactions, to just exploding popularity. This is a very good signal, typically, if the market is rising, that the market might be topping out. 9 o'clock was right here. 21 o'clock is the same thing as 9 o'clock. Just know that. 9/7, 21 o'clock Eastern time. So right at not exactly the market top, but kind of basically the market top, right here is when there was a signal that everyone knew about this. And there was just an explosion in everyone talking about it. That is something you need to look out for. Such a good sign that the market had likely topped out. Now, what I will say about this tool, when I look at mentions on Twitter, what I have noticed is that if the market's not that volatile, if the market's doing something like this, that's just not a lot of volatility. If there's a lot of mentions, it can actually be very bullish because there's just not much activity anyway. It's when the market's already incredibly bullish that, people can just see we're in a wild uptrend. When everyone starts talking about it, that's typically when the market's too late, okay? And I don't know if you've had experience with this with GameStop, AMC, Doge, Sheep, you name it. But this is why that kind of happens, because everyone does swing at the same time. All right, let's go over another example. But to do that, let's go to their main page right here and look at different alt ranks. So I want to let's go look at Origin Protocol, which is also known as OGN. So I'm just going to simply type in OGN, and we're going to go look at it in the past few days. Sometimes you need to put a cash signal because, OGN cash signal, but yeah. Let's just use the regular OGN. Let's track this. No, go back. There we go. No interactions in the last hour. No, I want... Okay, I'll do cash OGN, I guess. So here are the trends for cash OGN. Some Reddit, but obviously mostly are going to be Twitter. I will never call this X. It's such a dumb name. Okay, moving on though. Look at this. Let's go look at when interactions went insane. It was about 2-3 in the morning, a.m. Now, the really cool thing about this tool is look at that. Interactions just explode. And what I'm saying, guys, and please hear me out on this, a slow, steady rise is actually pretty healthy. That means that more people are becoming aware of a trend and that it typically continues. It's violence, like this, like the 2 a.m. spike or the 3 a.m. spike. This is when you're thinking, okay, now the entire world knows about it. And that's why this tool is so good, because it can make you aware of these situations. So a signal to short would have gotten around 1 or 2 a.m. to start thinking that, or not just a short, but to start thinking that, there's a lot of mentions of OGN. Let's be careful here. 2 a.m. was around here. So if you had, let's say, just shorted 2 a.m., anywhere around here, you would have had some drawdown, but you'd be up money, almost guaranteed. So this tool is not, it's kind of tough to use, I would say, because you have to be aware of the current market trend. This market's very volatile, so a lot of mentions of it are, typically going to mean that this is probably a good time to sell, okay? But let's go look at this too, because this one might be a bit different. So 1 a.m. September 7th, right here, we had a lot of mentions on Twitter, but there just wasn't a lot of volatility. That's what I really like about this. When there's not a lot of volatility, a crazy amount of mentions can actually be kind of bullish. It's when that there's already an established uptrend that a lot of mentions typically are very bearish. So right here, how'd you follow that logic? Because no one could say that this is very this is not a lot of activity. This is on a 1 hour time frame. This is not a lot of volatility for an altcoin. So 1 a.m. we had a lot of social media mentions right here, and I mean it went well for them, I guess. So that's really how you can use this. You can also look at other Twitter users and what they've said right there. Let's go look at other ones as well. So we have LittenTree, which is LAT, but I feel like if I'd have to put a cash sign on it because it's just too popular of a term, lit, for me to, If I just type in lit, it's gonna it's not gonna work. I have to type in LittenTree. It's gonna be like silly things like that. So yeah, it's not really working for this one right here. But if you do want those Twitter mentions, there is a really easy way to get to it, and I can show you guys how. So what you do is if we go to this page here, the previous page I showed you is just like an easy way to look at it. This one right here can also give you a view. So you want to go to click on it, and then you click View Detail. And the one that I was looking at was social mentions, and right here. So social mentions. I like to have this on a chart like this, and beautiful, here you go. So you can kind of see the exact same situation. Look at where mentions began popping off. Typically, everyone starts talking about it near the market top, and then the price falls. That's a common thing that's been happening, I think, for the dawn of time. But typically, everyone likes to talk about something, and then it just falls apart. And here, a lot of people were talking about it would have been a good time to buy because the market was kind of flat / trending down. Social engagements, I don't think, oh yeah, this one's even better. This one's even cleaner, actually. Social engagement was actually at the pinpoint market top. Look at that. Social engagement, it seems like, really just marked the top very cleanly. Let's go look at OGN to see if it's the same situation with social engagement. Wasn't the same here. This one, maybe social mentions was better. So I think it just depends on which one you prefer. But yeah, you can see here just how clean this was right here, all these mentions of it. So this is a tool that can basically help you, the social search and Lunar Crush itself. It can help you alert you when you think that a market top might be coming soon. Okay, so I really like this, and I'm going to be using this. But yeah, if you guys want this tool as well, you can click the link in the description below. Without further ado, I want you to go watch this cool little snippet from the Discord, and if you want to join, you can click the link in the description below. Happy trading, and go crush on Lunar Crush. Yeah. Oh wow, Walter White, did you get to short it? Because I was actually talking about that with another guy here. Oh, you did go short. Awesome. Good job, man. You're up 33% on your account. So let's talk about risk, Walter. Was it like a 5x? Was it like a 10x? Or how much risk did you take? Oh, okay, cool. So you took 10x active leverage? Because what some people don't think about is there's active leverage versus just like isolated or cross leverage.